Okay, September 3rd. Really, the big thing that happened today was that in 1919, Woodrow Wilson started a cross country tour to try and drum up support for the Treaty of Versailles and the League of Nations. The Treaty of Versailles is what formally ended World War One and was signed by the major powers in Europe. Woodrow Wilson was heavily involved in the negotiations. He went to Europe and was one of the principal people, one of the big four countries that settled World War One, and went through how they divided up countries and how they divided up spoils and reparations and all of these things. And Woodrow Wilson was in the center of that and really was very actively involved, and so felt very strongly about it. And then the League of Nations was intended to be an international forum for settling disputes, to try to avoid war in the future as conflict. So he came back, and unfortunately the Republicans controlled the Senate, and the Senate had to ratify the treaty. And so he went on a tour of the country to try and drum up support for it. The tour did not go well for him. Number one, he didn't succeed in getting the Senate to ratify the treaty. The Senate needed 2/3 of a vote. They were able to get a simple majority, but not the 2/3 required to approve the treaty. So the U.S. never officially signed the Treaty of Versailles. 2 years later, with Warren Harding, we actually had a treaty with Germany that we signed that ended the war with Germany. And the League of Nations went on without us. We never officially joined, and it lasted about 25 years, 26 years, until it faltered. Into the 30s, as Germany was building up, and then on the eve of World War II, the League of Nations ended formally, to be replaced by the United Nations after World War II. So the other thing that happened on this tour was Woodrow Wilson suffered a stroke, and it would pretty much hamper him for the rest of his presidency. When he returned, he kind of isolated himself. There's some speculation that Edith Wilson kind of ran things because of the stroke. It would ultimately have another stroke that would kill him after he left the White House. So anyway, that's what I have for you today, September 3rd. I'll see you tomorrow.